welcome. It has been a year since a nationwide lockdown was announced in India. What has the 1 year gone by been really like? Certainly, coronavirus hasn't gone away and is mounting challenges with mutating strains. We discussed that up ahead on the show. This is 6 p.m. Prime. I'm Sneha Mordani. Let's get started by talking about the overall situation as far as the numbers are concerned. India's COVID crisis looks like this right now. Active cases well above the 3 lakh mark, has crossed 3,68,457. Deaths are over 1,60,441. The number of recoveries has gone up to 1,12,05,116. Health Ministry, of course, has given out these figures. There's been a change in the recovery percentage in the country, and the death rate continues to be, in fact, the fatality rate continues to be at around 1.37%. The central government, of course, has announced that a new double mutant variant of this infection has been found in India. The government saying that a new double mutant variant has been found. It has shown increased infectivity, and there is a concern because of this. Looking at the total numbers, there are 771 variants. This includes the variants from the UK, from Brazil, and also from South Africa. In Maharashtra, 2 variants that can escape human immunity has higher infection rate have been found. In Canada, a variant which has immune escape capabilities has been detected. These were earlier found in Andhra Pradesh. The variants were detected in the country as part of genome sequencing efforts that have been undergoing for a while now. Genome sequencing and analysis have been carried out on samples from arriving international travelers, contacts of COVID-19 patients, and community samples from most of the states.
18 राज्य हैं जिनमें कि हमें ये वेरिएंट मिला है, और इन 18 राज्यों में मैं आपके सामने लाना चाहूँगा 771 हमारे वेरिएंट्स पाए गए। कुल हमने जो है 10,787 सैंपल्स जीनोम सीक्वेंस किए, जो कि पिछले रूप के 3 गुना से ज़्यादा हमने स्केल अप किया जीनोमिक म्यूटेशन। जो कंसोर्शियम बनने के पहले हम करीब 3,000 सीक्वेंस ऑलरेडी म्यूटेशन कर चुके थे, और उसके बाद ये आज आप देखेंगे कि विगत 3 माह में हम लोगों ने 10,000 से ज़्यादा किए, जिसमें 736 तो हमारे यूके वेरिएंट मिले हैं, 34 हमें साउथ अफ्रीकन वेरिएंट मिले हैं, और 1 सैंपल ब्राज़ीलियन वेरिएंट के तहत पॉजिटिव पाया गया। तो ये मैं आपको इसके बारे में ये बताना चाहूँगा कि आज तक कोई भी लिंकेज ऐसा एस्टैब्लिश नहीं कर पाए हम, जिसमें कि हम ये कहें कि ये सर्ज जो हमें विभिन्न शहरों में देखने को मिल रही है, इसका कारण डायरेक्टली सिर्फ म्यूटेशन है।
Well, in the Health Ministry briefing today, the Health Secretary pointed out that India has 3.14 active cases in the country, while its mortality rate is hovering around 1.37%. But what is worrying is that the recovery rate has slipped to 95.4%. Let's listen in to what the Health Ministry has had to say. This is Union Health Secretary Rajesh Bhushan.
अगर हम देखें कि ये एक्टिव केसेस जो 3.14% हैं या 3,68,457 हैं, ये एक्टिव केसेस कहाँ केंद्रित हैं? वेयर आर दीज एक्टिव केसेस कंसंट्रेटेड? तो देश के जो टॉप 10 डिस्ट्रिक्ट्स हैं वेयर दीज एक्टिव केसेस आर कंसंट्रेटेड, दे आर इन ऑर्डर ऑफ नंबर ऑफ केसेस: पुणे, नागपुर, मुंबई, ठाणे, नासिक, औरंगाबाद, बेंगलुरु अर्बन, नांदेड़, जलगांव एंड अकोला। इसका अर्थ ये हुआ कि देश में जो 10 जिले हैं जहां मैक्सिमम एक्टिव केसेस केंद्रित हैं, उनमें से 9 जिले महाराष्ट्र राज्य के हैं और 1 जिला कर्नाटक राज्य का है। 2 states are of grave concern which have showed recent surge in cases. First of which is महाराष्ट्र। पिछले 24 घंटों में महाराष्ट्र में 28,000 से ज़्यादा नए केसेस रिपोर्ट हुए हैं, और महाराष्ट्र के जो 5 जिले हैं जो राज्य के भीतर सबसे ज़्यादा केसेस कंट्रीब्यूट कर रहे हैं या जहां केसेस कंसंट्रेटेड हैं, जैसा मैंने पहले भी आपसे जानकारी साझा की, वो हैं पुणे, नागपुर, मुंबई, ठाणे और नासिक। पंजाब हमारे लिए चिंता का विषय इसलिए है कि अपनी कुल जनसंख्या के अनुपात में पंजाब में बहुत अधिक संख्या में नए केसेस रिपोर्ट हो रहे हैं। इनफैक्ट पिछले 24 घंटों में पंजाब में जो केसेस रिपोर्ट हुए 2000 से ज़्यादा, वो उसको महाराष्ट्र के बाद नए केस रिपोर्ट करने में दूसरे नंबर पर ले आते हैं।
All right, amid a huge surge in the number of coronavirus cases, many states have banned public Holi celebrations. The Delhi government has imposed a ban on Holi celebrations in public places in view of the spike. Mumbai's civic body BMC issued a similar order prohibiting Holi at public and private places in the wake of COVID-19 pandemic and rise in the cases once again. The ban was also imposed on Holika Dahan celebrations in public that happens one day before Holi. A similar ban was also imposed in Chandigarh with restrictions on organizing Holi celebrations in hotels, restaurants or clubs. Similarly, Haryana and Lucknow also have barred any such gatherings. Meanwhile, Ranchi administration will be imposing Section 144 during the festive season to contain the spread of the infection. Well, on the 23rd of March last year, Prime Minister Modi announced a nationwide lockdown to contain the spread of the infection. A year on since India went into a lockdown, the nation is once again witnessing a surge in the number of cases. Let's take a look at this news report.
When an unknown virus crept into the country in 2020, there was little warning of the havoc it was going to cause. It first surfaced in January in a Kerala student who had come back from China, and within days, the cases began multiplying. But it was only in March that the scale of the pandemic emerged. The first action of the government, as the virus spread menacingly, was a 14-hour Janta curfew to alert people to the gravity of the situation. With no signs of cases subsiding, the government took a step India had never witnessed in its modern history. And that measure was taken exactly a year ago on this day.
आप इस समय देश में जहां भी हैं वहीं रहे। अभी के हालात को देखते हुए देश में ये लॉकडाउन 21 दिन का होगा, 3 सप्ताह का होगा।
With hours' notice, India went into a 21-day lockdown. 1 billion and more restricted to their homes. For a few hours before the midnight, lockdown started. There was panic as people rushed to stock up. For the next 3 weeks, markets and malls were shut. Offices, schools and colleges closed. And traffic on the road strictly restricted. Cities became ghost towns. Then came the crisis. A mass exodus of tens of thousands of jobless migrants hitting the highway, heading to their homes in villages. A humanitarian problem never seen before. As the coronavirus spread rapidly, the lockdown was further extended. Flights remained grounded. Trains stopped running.
भारत में लॉकडाउन को अब 3 मई तक और बढ़ाना पड़ेगा। यानी 3 मई तक हम सभी को, हर देशवासी को लॉकडाउन में ही रहना होगा।
By now, every state was reporting thousands of cases. The virus was causing deaths. Hospitals were choked with patients. There was no question of lowering guard.
मुझे पूरा भरोसा है कि नियमों का पालन करते हुए हम कोरोना से लड़ेंगे भी और आगे भी बढ़ेंगे।
By now, millions around the world were infected and India started evacuating desperate expats from different parts of the globe. It was only in June that the government began the process of unlocking, recognizing the urgency to open up the economy. At the same time, India began working on a vaccine against COVID. By now, protection against COVID, masks and social distancing had become the new normal. It took nearly 9 months after the development of the vaccine started that the first citizen was vaccinated. On January 16, 2021, the inoculation drive began in India, with doctors and frontline workers starting to get vaccinated. In 365 days, India went through its most challenging period after independence. But the worst is far from over. A second wave of the deadly COVID-19 is raising fears again. Once again, the option of a lockdown, at least at local levels, is looming large over people. Bureau Report, India Today.
All right, as India completes 1 year of lockdown announcement, let's take a look at what have been the lessons of the past and how have we understood the pandemic in so many months. I filed this report. Pictures of a one-day Janta curfew imposed a year ago. And what a year it has been. From wishing the coronavirus away to understanding how a pandemic changes lives, we have come a long way. Here are the lessons of the last 1 year.
Testing is the only way to control the infection. From no indiscriminate testing, only isolate and test when required, to the rule of the ICMR, to following WHO's strategy of test, test, test. India took a while to change its position. Dearth of testing kits, those meant for RT-PCR testing, considered the gold standard of testing to rapid antigen testing. The pandemic taught us that an infectious disease can loom just about anywhere, and the way to nip it in the bud is test. The second important lesson, oxygen and ventilators are what we need. Oxygen therapy and the need to check dip in oxygen levels is what helped the medical fraternity save lives. Breathlessness, identified as the first sign of the disease worsening, oximeters became a way of life. From shortage of ventilators with just about 40,000 available, India became self-sufficient in not just procuring but also producing these ventilators. Another significant lesson, cities are more vulnerable. Crowded urban India serves as a perfect host to the infection. In spite of having the benefit of robust health systems, urban India collapsed faster. Rural India, where there is little congestion, managed to keep the infection at check. From a sense that asymptomatic patients do not spread the infection, to the understanding that they could be the biggest challenge in the fight against COVID, called asymptomatic carriers, these individuals can transmit the virus to others without knowing it. We now know that the virus can show no symptoms in some, but can still contribute to the spread. The infection prolongs in the form of long COVID, be it in the form of fatigue or lung damage or heart problems. The infection's initial symptoms may go away and it leaves an impact. That has been another lesson. Another lesson, initially it was thought that the lockdown would help break the chain of transmission. That was not to be. We opened up gradually and cases surged in August. The lockdown's purpose was to buy time to ready the country's infrastructure to deal with the mounting challenge.
And lastly, but most importantly, what we learned is that there is no substitute for this, which is hand hygiene, and also wearing the mask that will be protecting you against the new variants of the infection as well. Unfortunately, we see this being violated even as the country is looking to a second surge, a second wave of the infection. In New Delhi, Sneha Mordani for India Today.
Hi everyone, Preeti Chaudhary here. Hope you like this video. For latest news and analysis, like and subscribe to the India Today YouTube channel. And don't forget to press the bell icon to stay updated. Thank you for watching.